Hello guys, what's up? Tutagamon here. In this video I'm going to benchmark Alan Wake on a single GTX 1070 paired with my old Core i7-860. This video is recorded on an external recorder at 60 frames per second, so what you will see in this video will be pure performance. The system is overclocked to 4 GHz. Let me show you the frequency so we can be okay. There it is. 12 GB of system memory, and the graphics card is a single GTX 1070 made by KFA2. It is the EX model, latest force were installed, and it is also a little overclocked in order to reach 2 GHz of core clock. Now for this benchmarking session I'm going to use fraps, which I am going to load also. We will see the basic result in this file. I have also loaded my previous Alan Wake result on the GTX 1070 with 2500K, and of course we will see a comparison with flat at the end of the video. So let me launch the game. Options first. I'm using 1080p resolution as always, and for the advanced options I'm using a custom preset, which is of course the high preset, but instead of only 8 times anisotropic filtering I have increased that to 16. Of course I could have increased the anti-aliasing also, but all my Alan Wake benchmarking videos are done with 4 times anti-aliasing, so I will stick with this option. The game is frame rate capped at 200 frames per second. Soon I will not be able to benchmark it, but for now it is okay.
Keep going.
Very nice, so I'm starting the benchmark right away.
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartmann. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either. The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
Hello? Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident. Hey! Hey!
And square. Carl, stop. Please. this thing!
Kill?
2 birds?
Incontestably.
Proven! During your trying, it's the latest.
Yes!
Bright Falls Sheriff Station.
Hello?
Kill.
One.
This is bad. The bulldozer had gone over the cliff with the office. I hoped Stucky had suffered the same fate, but I wasn't planning on staying to find out. There were more of them. My head pounded with the concussion. I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something. There were no bodies. They just disappeared. If I was dreaming, it felt real enough to make me sick. Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it. The dark forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice. I had to get to the gas station.
It's rabbit season.
What the hell was that? When I saw the river below, something uncoiled itself inside my head. I realized that I'd have to find a way across. I didn't even want to look at the water. Stucky was still out there, in the dark, stalking me.
Okay, this is the end of the benchmark. Let's see what we've got. We have 108 frames per second for the 860, while we had 143 frames per second for the 2500. Let's see the MSI Afterburner graphs, and we will proceed to the frame analytics tool. Frame rate is quite decent. The frame times are also quite good, and that is in spite of the GPU usage being very low throughout the run. The game is extremely CPU limited for the Core i7-860, but thankfully the frame rate was high enough, so there would be no problem in real life gameplay, but there is a problem in real life benchmarking. Not that it is the end of the world. So the CPU usage is medium, a lot of thread switching going on. CPU number 2 seems to be running the main thread of the game. A lot of spikes in the CPU usage, so we are looking at quite a lot of thread switching. The CPU usage is quite low, as an overall below 50%. It is barely at 30, as you can see. So this old engine cannot take advantage of the hyper-threading of the Core i7-860, but still the performance is quite decent. CPU temps are quite good considering the very low load of the CPU. GPU temps are also okay. RAM usage at 3 GB. Core clock at 2 GHz throughout the run, no real problem. Video RAM usage at 800 MB in its maximum reading. Okay, quite light game on both the CPU and the GPU. It's just that the system cannot, the engine cannot take advantage of the system resources. So let me see where this is getting us. Okay, Alan Wake High plus GTX 1070 plus i7-860. I need this file for this run, and I'm also going to open my older GTX 1070 run with the i5-2500K, which is not on this drive, however. The benchmark I am looking at is this one. The other one was on the GTX 970. I'm not going to bring this system now. 108.4. Okay, so we have the correct benchmarking data. The i5-2500K is of course considerably faster, and if I am to also bring up the calculator, 143 divided by 108, 32% performance increase just by the CPU, and if I'm not mistaken, the i5 was also a little CPU limited due to the old engine. The frame times, however, are very good. We do not have the weird spikes we see in other games, except this big one, of course, big ones, which are probably from no, I had 3 cutscenes in the game, 1, 2, 3, maybe 1/4, but overall the frame times are quite good. Also evident by the frame times beyond 16.7 milliseconds, which are almost zero. Nothing serious. The game can play very nicely on the 860. The vast majority of the frame times are below even 13 milliseconds. So actually we are looking at a weird case where the game is CPU limited, but it is also absolutely destroyed by the game, by the system. No real problems regarding the performance. Let me change this to blue and this one to red. I believe these are the colors I usually use, I hope. In terms of benchmarking longevity, the runs are quite similar. I only have a little around I don't know, 20 seconds difference, nothing too serious. We can clearly see, of course, that the 1070 with the 860 in the red does have a little higher frame times, but they are also still quite fast, no real problem. 7 milliseconds average for the 1070 with the 2500K, 9 milliseconds for the 860. Very good performance, crazy performance to be exact. The frame rate is also a little higher on the 2500K, which is to be expected. Higher frequency and higher IPC. Actually, I was expecting a little better performance. It is 20% for the core clock and 10% for the IPC. Okay, it is where it should be. Don't pay attention to the minimums. I believe they are affected by the few video cutscenes which I quickly skipped, but the average frame rate does not lie. It is always correct. This is the most important measurement. Variability and stuttering a little better for the 2500K, a little less stuttering for the 860, surprisingly, to tell you the truth. This does not occur often, one measurement to favor one system and the other measurement the other, especially the older ones. Usually the 2500K is the one with the better stats. The 99th percentile, 13.5 for the 860, 9.9 for the 2500K. The distance between the two lines seems quite big, but it is only from 5 to 6.5, and usually we only have around 2 or 3 milliseconds difference, so it is not a big deal, but clearly showcases the superiority of the 2500K, of course. This is the purpose of this series of benchmarks, of course, to showcase the difference of an older CPU with the 2500K, which does quite good, to tell you the truth. I'm very happy with the 860 from what I am seeing up to this point. And lastly, the comparable frame rate 107 to 85 for the H60. Very solid, very good performance from both systems, with a clear advantage on the 2500K. Very decent showing again from this old system. I will continue my benchmarking. I have still a lot of games to test, my friends, so stay tuned if you are interested, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.